I am the real daughter of the Shi family. With my melon-eating system, I appear to be submissive on the surface, but I punch hard in my heart. But I don't know that my mind has been read. Brothers, although you are our biological sister, we only recognize Xiao Xiao. Advise you to put yourself in the right position. In the previous life, I smashed the bowl of the king of hell. In this life, I was born into 10 families. The brothers paused. Xiao Xiao is well-behaved and sensible. She loves everyone in the family. Don't compete with him for favor and make trouble. I am sensible to death. The whole family loves you to the point of being cuckolded. The brothers have strange faces. I got a melon-eating system. They told me that the world I live in is a book, and I am the cannon fodder with the most tragic fate. The supporting actress and the heroine are the fake daughter, Shi Xiao Xiao, who is spoiled by the Shi family. After repeatedly reading the detailed operations of the Shi family in the original book and the unfortunate experience of Vishihara, I decided to succumb to the plot, put down my expectations of my family, and respect their fate of bankruptcy. The Shi family loves the fake daughter. It looks down on me. Their own daughter, who has been wandering outside since childhood, is submissive. I just stepped into the house and my 3 brothers stopped me. Although you are our biological sister, we only recognize our Xiao Xiao. You should put yourself in the right place in the future. Don't dream of things that don't belong to you. Although you are our biological sister, we only recognize Xiao Xiao. Before I finished my words, they looked at me like they saw a ghost. They winked at each other crazily with strange expressions. They were conscientious and responsible. I played the role of a real daughter who was not presentable. No problem. I know. I can recite this crappy line. Look down on me, look down on me. Do you really think anyone wants to go back to your house? Am I an old man who wants to hang himself because he doesn't want to live long? That's why I insisted on coming to the Shi family to get involved in this mess. It's because you bastards don't want to come back. You don't agree to come back because you're unhappy. Some people don't say they don't care, but secretly make trouble for Xiao Xiao Xiao. My 3rd brother, Shi Ling Yuan, raised his eyebrows and looked at me sarcastically. I have a bad temper. It's what this cheap-mouthed man deserves. In the end, he can't even keep his chrysanthemum. Shi Ling Yuan frowned hard and suddenly grabbed hold of my shoulder. Shi Ling Yuan, you are itching. What is your attitude towards your sister? A middle-aged male voice sounded behind me. The beautiful middle-aged woman Yuan Yang rushed to me. Hold me tightly. My dear daughter, you are finally home. My parents are really good-looking. I guess my beauty is inherited from them. I want to hug my woman narcissistic ally. My body stiffened. Looked at the sons. Then looked at me with my mouth shut. Carefully said Yuan Yang, I made soup for you. Let's go home for dinner. My dad also asked these brats to pick you up. Until now, he hasn't brought our Yuan Yang in. Dad will teach them a lesson later. It's a pity for such gentle parents. In the end, they drove me out because of the instigation of the heroine. Refused to recognize me, but they didn't have a good result themselves. Some died and some went crazy. Why are 10 families so miserable? The whole family paused. I don't know where my mother got so much strength. I scratched a circle of red marks on my hand. Mom, my mother smiled and took her hand back, looked at me carefully. Are you feeling uncomfortable? I shook my head obediently. No, I'm fine. It's just that I feel dissatisfied when I see your 3 biased and brain-dead sons. Xiuan, the irritable 3rd brother roared. What's wrong with my name? What's wrong with me? I'm standing here quietly. I didn't say a word about you. What are you doing? Shi Ling Yuan, my father winked at the eldest brother. Let him hold it down. 3rd brother, it's unfair. Ignore him. Let's eat. It's not easy to sit at the dinner table. I'm full of energy to eat, but there are always people who make me unhappy. 2nd brother, Shi Lingzhu, put a pair of empty bowls beside him and said slowly, Shi Yuan's family has a girl. I guess you know it too. I hope you can get along with Xiao Xiao in the future. She's not in good health. You should let her go. No one else in the family said anything. Obviously, it means the same thing. Here we go again. Here we go again. I'm my dear brother on the surface, but the heroine is actually dog. Here she comes with her warning again. Isn't it just premature and weak? She has recovered from that little problem a long time ago. It's just to trick you idiots into caring about me. I'm just pretending to be a fool. IQ of 5. I really don't like it. My parents and brother just finished their complaints. A brisk and sweet female voice came from the stairs. My parents and brothers stood up unconsciously to welcome their little princess. My mother looked at me worriedly and then at Xi Xiaoxiao's. She was afraid that I would not get along well with the fake daughter. I was obedient and quiet on the surface, but I was composing music for Xi Xiaoxiao in my heart. Here he comes. He walked towards us with the brisk steps of a broken family. Xi Xiaoxiao noticed the unusually stiff atmosphere downstairs and aroused a smile. Wanted to hug me. This is my sister, right? Welcome home, she said, and flew into my arms like a little butterfly. I quickly dodged her. Luckily, I ran fast. Otherwise, the needle in her hand would have stabbed me. Then I got angry and pushed her down. My family thought I was looking for trouble with Xi Xiaoxiao because of my background, laid the foundation for me to be kicked out of the house in the future. The scheming bitch must have been the reincarnation of wrong mama in her previous life. Shizikosui's moved 2 pounds on me froze in my dread, but because he couldn't clean up in time, he fell on the dining table. The soup splashed all over him. She looked at me pitifully. I had to continue acting. Sister, do you hate me? I know I took your place. It's right for you to hate me. But I really can't bear to leave my parents and brothers. Everyone stood there in confusion. But he cried and complained. There were really fools who fell for it. Shi Ling Yuan angrily helped him up. Shi Yuan, why are you hiding? Zhao Xiao just wanted to say hello to you. Only fools don't hide. I think the silver needle of Shi Ma should be stuck in your eyes. Give your head some water. I blinked innocently. It was just a conditioned reflex. Xi Xiaoxiao was in a mess. She wanted to defend herself, a grieved lie. Mom and Dad, I really didn't. Shi Ling Yuan interrupted him. He said without thinking. Shi Yuan is a veteran in the entertainment industry. I don't know how dirty his heart is. Can you trust his words? Xi Xiaoxiao smiled quietly in his arms, looked at me provocatively. Is he waiting for me to get angry and curse? Good fellow, good fellow. It's my fault that I'm in the entertainment industry. Your whole family, except for the eldest brother who is a boss, the second brother and Xi Xiaoxia are actors, and you are also a singer. Who doesn't mix in the entertainment industry? My poverty is my original sin, right? If I hadn't entered the entertainment industry by accident, I wouldn't even have enough to eat and couldn't afford to go to school. You are noble, you are pure and innocent. I work diligently, and because I refuse to follow the hidden rules, I am still in the 18th tier. Your precious little sister, with the name of a rich girl, is for private resources. A man who has slept with her for more than 2 years. You guys from the compound treat her as a pure and innocent treasure. You are talking nonsense. Compared with the irritable Shi Ling Yuan, someone jumped out first. Shi Xiaoxiao blushed and pointed at me with shaking hands. He emphasized again that you are talking nonsense. I was dumbfounded. What did I say? God is my witness. I didn't move my mouth at all. At most, I complained in my heart. You said B, Xi Xiaoxiao said. I looked at him strangely. There is something wrong with your language system. Shi Ling Yuan took over and said, you just said B. B is screwed. There won't be any infectious diseases in the Shi family, right? Should I run away early? I will pretend to be wronged and angry. Slap Xi Xiaoxiao in the face. Will I be driven out by the Shi family? Third brother, take Xiaoxiao back to the room to rest. My father, who had been watching this farce, spoke angrily. I had to put away my eager hand, and Xiaoxiao glared at me fiercely. He looked like he wanted to kill someone. But the next second, he seemed to be strangled by the throat of fate. His face was flushed and he couldn't breathe. He was so angry that he seemed to faint. He looked at me in horror. What were you looking at me for? My ability to irritate people has reached the point where I can kill people without even opening my mouth. Why don't you hurry up and leave with Ling Yuan? My mother coughed lightly undirged. Shi Ling Yuan and Xi Xiaoxiao left with an angry look on their faces. I sat down and looked at the broken plates with a look of pity. Food. Yuan. Wait a minute. Kitchen is already cooking you food. My mother gently comforted me. I nodded obediently. Chu broke the awkward atmosphere, waiting for a while. My dad tried to change the subject. He said to my eldest brother, Director Ji is back. We mean that the two families will have dinner together this week and discuss your marriage with Ji Yuan. I seem to have heard the name Ji Yuan somewhere. The movements of the whole family suddenly slowed down, and I tried to flip through the melons in the system in my mind. My dad looked around with a smile. My children sitting at the dinner table. His eyes seemed to accidentally glance at my face. My dear, let the daughter of the chief family be your sister-in-law, okay? My eldest brother also stared at my eyes. I had already flipped through the melons by now, nodded seriously and said it was good. The family members were obviously relieved, but before they finished speaking, I added in my heart, how can the green-haired Turlin, the snake fairy, not be good? A perfect match. A perfect match for the eldest brother. Shi Ling Yuan's hand trembled. The chopsticks fell to the ground. I secretly raised my eyes. A look at the eldest brother who squatted down to pick up the chopsticks. Everyone was weird. The IQ was not very high. It seemed that the body was not very good. Sure enough, I should run away as soon as possible. I don't want to die with them. They are not good to me. Well, my parents seem to be okay. I looked at my parents with concern. If I am not sure, I looked at my mother's family, looking at me lovingly, with a soft light in her eyes. Has Yuan Yuan seen Ji Yuan before? No, but I have heard of him. I have never seen him, but I have eaten his melons. This woman is Shiziko's best friend. It is for this reason that my family chose her as the first choice for marriage. She is as vicious as Xu Xiaoxiao's. She is still pregnant now. My brother will be a father as soon as he gets married. The chopsticks that my eldest brother had just picked up were broken in his hand. Lin Yuan and Jing Yuan haven't been together for long. I think we should take another look. My father suddenly spoke. My eldest brother nodded hurriedly. My mother also agreed. I looked at them blankly. Didn't they just discuss the wedding date? It changes so fast. But even so, this marriage may still be done. Who let Xu Xiaoxiao be with him? Speaking of which, these two are so good. It's also because of Ji Yuan. He is bisexual. In fact, his true love is the heroine. My eldest brother sprayed out a mouthful of salt soda. But Jia Yuan adheres to the principle of walking through a sea of flowers without getting a single leaf on him. Pregnancy is purely an accident. Moreover, he loves soft and fragrant girls more. This woman actually wants to attack me. What? My dad screamed. He slammed the table fiercely. I looked up in confusion. My dad smiled and retracted his hand. My dad thought of an angry thing at the company. It's Care, the good boy. It's okay. Seeing that everyone else at the table had a normal expression, I retracted my gaze and continued to eat melons. It turned out that Xu Xiaoxiao complained to him that my real daughter was coming back. She also took my photo to Ji Yuan to put eye drops in front of her, hoping that he would find a chance to deal with me in the future. As a result, Joan fell in love with my face and planned to let me play a game of chase with him. Even if I want to be gay, I will find a gentle and beautiful big sister. Who wants this black-hearted, vicious woman? My mother nodded slightly. I looked over in confusion. She raised her hand and pinched her neck, complained that she had a stiff neck last night. I retracted my gaze and continued to eat melons. What? What? There is a female college student locked up in the villa now. She is pregnant and still having fun. This is illegal. This is a labor prisoner. Jarvis Arisa 8. What to do? Ji Yuan is already on the way back to the villa. How can I leave the table without leaving a trace? Go out and call the police. I stood up suddenly. I want to go to the toilet. After saying that, I rushed out. Shi Ling Yuan happened to come down from upstairs. Heard when I shouted at the table. Scorned and said vulgar. I am anxious now. I won't bother with you. I glared at him fiercely. Rushed out with my eyes flying. When I was a child, Lin Yuan was slapped on the head by his eldest brother. Shut up and make the call. Make sure the police arrive in time. I went back to the restaurant. Just happened to see the family gathered together and whispered. And Shi Lin Yuan said, but Xiao Xiao. They all said that she was willing to leave our family. She didn't want to be the daughter of the Shi family anymore. I looked at her lovingly. The back of her head didn't look very smart. Fool, because what's to do now is your sister-in-law. The whole family turned around suddenly, staring at her with bright eyes. I was startled by the 5 pairs of eyes that suddenly looked at me. I pretended to be calm and returned to my seat. My dear, have you solved it? My dad asked me. Why did you bother my dad? He suddenly cared about my going to the toilet. However, the person was caught red-handed. The crime of keeping Ji Yuan was firmly pinned on him. When the girl was rescued, there was not a single piece of good flesh on her body. She really suffered a lot. Speaking of which, this girl is Shizi Kosui's junior schoolmate. She knew Ji Yuan's habit very well, but she still sent the junior schoolmate, who was looking for a part-time tutor to Ji Yuan, around me. Isn't this sending sheep into the tiger's mouth? Xiao Xiao, you really deserve to die. Impossible. Xu Ling Yuan stared at me with a breath held. When I looked at him inexplicably, this old six, going crazy again, right? I wonder if you will say anything when your chrysanthemum cannot be saved. What is impossible? Xu Lin's face was about to explode. He was slapped back by his elder brother again. I lowered my head and pretended to be sad and continued to turn the melon. Big brother hasn't finished eating the melon just now, right? Oh, it turns out that Xu Xiao knew that Jia Yuan liked him a long time ago. But he likes the eldest brother, so he wants to send his best friend, who is a girl, to the eldest brother. The 3 of them maintain a harmonious trio. In the original novel, Xu Xiao confesses to the eldest brother, but the eldest brother can't get over the hurdle of brother and sister in his heart and rejects him. Xu Xiao turns love into hatred and then makes a grudge with the male protagonist to frame the Shi family. Ji Yuan also made great efforts. But now Xu Xiao has changed his mind. My family doesn't seem to hate me so much. Instead of taking the risk of driving me away, it's better to find another way to take down the eldest brother and become the next head of the family. Wife, wasn't the house his then? Hey, big brother, what kind of bad luck is this? After all, we are born from the same mother. Should I remind him? I secretly glanced at my big brother, but he also looked at me expectantly. I lowered my eyes. I thought to myself, forget it. According to the original plot, I also reminded him. But he listened to Shizi Kosu's instigation and thought that I didn't like Xu Xiao, so he took his anger out on Ji Yuan, his best friend. In order to punish me for slandering his sister and wife, he also took advantage of me. I gave several resources to Xu Xiao. Later, I almost helped Xu Xiao to trick me out and into the bed of a director with a big brain. Although he didn't mean it, if I wasn't smart, I would have been fooled. Moreover, he knew that Jia Yuan's child was not his, but he still believed Shizi Kosui's lies and let the mother and child go. It was not until later that Jia Yuan helped Xu Xiao to take over the Shi family. The eldest brother went bankrupt because of the conspiracy and more than a dozen people died on the construction site. He jumped off the rooftop with guilt and his brains popped out. He announced that the child had nothing to do with the Shi family and left the Shi family. Forget it. Let go of the complex of helping others and respect the fate of others. I am a Buddha who is merciful, but only saves those who save themselves, not green-haired turtles. When I was puffing on my second brother, I don't know what the neighbor was thinking. He spit out a mouthful of water and was overjoyed. The third brother had the same expression. The eldest brother's face turned red and white, as if he was changing his face. My parents looked disappointed. Everyone's inner thoughts were so rich. My eyes returned to the second brother on my body. In my heart, I looked down on you and said, "You're still laughing. You're not much better." After Xu Xiao decided not to rely on others and took control of the Shi family, the second brother was the one who took action. He held back a mouthful of water in his throat and peeked at me while coughing. I continued to eat melons. My second brother was deceived into taking drugs and gave Xu Xiao resources to make him famous. Then the scandal broke out. Dead photos were everywhere. In the end, he was skinny and committed suicide by cutting his wrists in the bathroom on a desperate night. My third brother was deceived by Xu Xiao to go to a cocktail party and gave himself after being knocked unconscious. My own secret pills. Contracted a sexually transmitted disease. Woke up and died because of the pain. My parents lost their beloved son in middle age, leave all the family property to their adopted daughter. One died in a car accident. One was sent to a mental hospital. Of course, I didn't have a good ending either. Kidnapped by Xu Xiaoxiao and sold to Southeast Asia. Bruised and killed in a dark alley. I was getting angry as I thought about it. Just when I was about to glare at these stupid brothers. But I found that the whole family looked like they had lost their parents and were disheartened. What's wrong with you? I asked tentatively. I have been this. Didn't miss anything. Why did they look like they were hit? My dad's face was dark. My mom wiped her red eyes. I thought of something sad. Is Yuan Yuan hungry? Just then, the housekeeper personally brought the dishes. Master and Madame. Young masters, please have your meal. I frowned and looked at the housekeeper who turned back to the kitchen. He just glared at me, didn't he? In the novel, the housekeeper really stood on Shizikosu's side. The housekeeper played an important role in kicking me out of the house. But does he hate me so much now? Let me see, let me see. You made the family members prick up their ears. It turns out that the housekeeper hated me from the beginning. But the reason he hated me was that he liked my dad and broke the dishes. Why does he look like he has Parkinson's tonight? I thought silently. He didn't care about eating. I was flipping the melons crazily. The housekeeper has been here for 10 years. When he first applied for the job, he was deeply impressed by my dad's elegant and handsome demeanor. The more he got along with me, the more he fell in love with me. And he is also a good control. Every pair of my dad's shoes was licked inside and out by him. And he even slept with those shoes. The reason why he stood on Shizi Kosui's side was because Xu Xiaoxiao had discovered that he had a crush on my dad. But he not only helped him hide it, but also helped him steal shoes. In comparison, I, a young man, was very eye-catching. Oh, this is really a smelly melon. I looked up and saw why everyone looked like they were going to vomit. I was pregnant with Master for a few months. I lowered my head and he helped pick up the things behind me. Zhao Xiao framed the Shi family and thought that he would have a chance when my dad was separated from his wife and children and fell into poverty. If my dad hadn't died in a car accident while in a trance, he would have taken him back to his hometown and tied him up and imprisoned him. The housekeeper looked decent, but he was still acting like a sickly girl at his age. Disgusting pervert. My dad didn't know what he was thinking. He nodded vigorously and suddenly stood up again. He yelled at the housekeeper. The housekeeper rushed out excitedly. There was still sticky love in his old eyes. I shuddered when I saw it. My dad kicked his feet hard. Slippers on the butler. You are fired. Get out of here. The butler was horrified. Knelt down with a thud. Master, what did I do wrong? I am loyal to this family. My dad looked at him coldly. His face was as disgusting as if he had swallowed 10 flies. I already know that you stole shoes. Our family will not want a person with a kleptomaniac. The butler sat on the ground with a pale face. When did my dad know the true face of the butler? It seems that my dad is quite smart, unlike those idiots. I must have inherited my wit from my dad. My brothers snorted a few times from their noses. What are you humming about? The bold demon king must be reincarnated. My dad raised his mouth. After the butler was driven out, he sat down again. Good boy, eat. Our eyes were all focused on the dining table. The butler who liked to lick the stinky shoes just now, just touched them with his hands. I don't know if my dad and I have a telepathic connection. My dad's face twitched. Mom and Dad took you out to eat today. Anne saw my brothers and said with disdain, forget about the eldest, the second, and the third brother. Seeing you make the meal angry, I can't eat any more. The road to recognition seems different from what I imagined. My parents seem to love me. Although my 3 brothers deserve a beating, they are not as angry as in the original novel. You go home now. The next day, my dad stuffed a variety show script in my hand. He also designated my second and third brothers to accompany me. My dear, this life variety show is a big production. You go and have fun with your brothers. Your mom and I will prepare. When you come back, we will have a recognition banquet. He touched my head. Although Dad missed you for 20 years in Dad's heart, you are Dad's only treasure. No one can replace you. You know, the variety show was filmed in a small mountain village. It was recorded and broadcast. On the day of the broadcast, my agent Meiji met me at the door. He stared at the luxury car that brought me here in amazement. One, you are with a rich man. Me and the two brothers of the Shi family who just got off the car. You can question my taste, but you can't question my IQ. The only rich people who are with these two stupid dogs who deliver food to the heroine. The third brother grabbed my ears. The tiger roared. Shiwan, don't think you don't speak. I didn't know you were scolding me. I looked at him like a ghost. Is my dislike so obvious? Second brother Shi Lingju put his arm around my shoulders. I and his brother. Third brother also nodded coldly. Dear Shi Lingju and Shi Lingyuan, a well-known actor, a talented singer. Both are celebrities in the circle. Sister May looked at me with a scissors expression. Are you going to be on the show together this time? I explained helplessly. My dad asked us to cultivate our relationship. Why did Sister May scream? The excitement is another story. My eyes, unconsciously, being attracted by a tall figure standing not far away. Handsome guy, top handsome guy. The eyes of the remaining three people turn along with my voice. The handsome guy opposite also looked over, showing an extremely stunning and indifferent handsome face. It's a pity that he is short-lived ghost. As expected of the handsome guy, I fell in love with at first sight. Ming Jing Ching family, the only heir of the Chu family, just came to the entertainment industry to play around and won several actor awards. Countless fans. The man standing at the top of the entertainment industry. Shizuko Su's eyes lit up when she saw him. Regardless of her, the male lead. The black face of my fiancé Zhang Chu is pressed hard against me. I listened to the director reading the long rules. While counting ants with my head down, my mind was thinking endlessly. So the name should be chosen well. Chu Ying Chu Ying. These two families are not winning at birth. Unlike my name is Shi Yuan. I am really wrong. I don't have 10 blessings. I still have to bear the debt for the next 10 years. Is it too late for me to change my name now? Director Shi Yuan shouted loudly. Listen carefully. I was frightened. Stand at attention, good. Cut slacking off. Next time I will hide well. I don't know if it's my illusion. Why do I feel that everyone present, including the handsome guy, is staring at me intentionally or unintentionally? I don't know who it is. This show actually brings together almost all the main characters. The female lead is Xiao Shao. The male lead is Zhang Chu. Our three top 10 siblings, and the new generation of young actress Nghi Xiao. The popular rival He Jingming is here. And the producer is doing me a favor. Xu Ying, who guest starred in one episode, and non-fashion actors Eng Li, who has not appeared yet. Getting good to put together to make home tables. Strong lineup. It's a sure hit. During the show, Xiao Xiao is full of confidence, determined to perform well in the show. Step on me. The director is still chattering. I started to lose focus again. Anyway, this show can only be filmed for one episode. It can't be broadcast in the later stage. A world where only the director works hard. The shooting site suddenly fell silent. The director looked like he was mute. Then I saw the director give my second brother a questioning look. After getting the reply, he still looked annoyed and unbelieving. Teacher's Ang Li. We will be late due to traffic jam. Let's start first. What traffic jam? This guy is high on drugs. Don't dare to show up. It's impossible, the director suddenly refuted. Ha! I was puzzled. The director took back what he hadn't said with a frustrated look. If the boy he was thinking about spoke up in the next second. Sorry, director. This frivolous footsteps. This reading swollen eyelids. If you don't take drugs, who will? Seng Li's apology came to an abrupt end. Sharp eyes suddenly shot at the guests standing together. Fuck. This guy is still playing out someone was killed. The boy they tricked into playing just now jumped from the hotel where he was staying. The police had received the news and came to arrest him. Everyone took a step back. Seng Li, who had just looked fierce, wanted to rush out of the door in panic. The director shouted and grabbed him. Chu Ying quickly picked up an apple on the table and threw it. It hit Zhang Li's head. The force was accurate. At least it could break bricks that had been broken for 10 years. Everything happened in a flash. Zhang Li was dumbfounded. I looked at everyone in confusion. How did they know? Zhang Li committed a crime and wanted to escape. The director cleared his throat. The program team just received the news. Shen Li is suspected of committing a crime. Let us cooperate with the police to arrest her. Chu Ying looked at me deeply. I had a conditioned reflex. I looked at him suspiciously. Your conditioned reflex is quite appropriate. Chu Ying looked calm. Zhang Li was sent away in a mess. The director breathed a sigh of relief and we continued. The King of Heaven is here. This program must be finished. He spent a lot of money. His little eyes were dripping on the guests on the scene. Turning around, finally his eyes locked on me, revealing a sinister capitalist smile. Shi Yuan, you and Shi Linju, Shi Lin Yuan, and Shi Xiaoxiao all have the last name Shi. What a fate! Shizikosu's eyes lit up, and he looked over with a smug look. He was not in good health, and his brothers were afraid that he would be upset. They had already discussed privately before I came back, and promoted my identity to me, saying at most that he was an adopted daughter, but he had to wait until the draft of the derogatory article was written. My brothers would deny my identity immediately and tell everyone that he was the only daughter of aristocratic family, and then I would be scolded for stealing traffic and being shameless. But I didn't want to admit that I was their sister either. If I don't admit it now, I would be scolded at most, and I would quietly sever the relationship later as if nothing had happened. If I admit it now, I would be kicked out of the house later, and I would be so embarrassed. Bear Chengchu's being Chengchu was thoughtful, and his shrewd eyes moved back and forth between us. I raised my eyes and looked at him. When he smiled at me, Xiaoxiao caught this. A scene of flirting with each other. She immediately glared at me angrily. She then took Zhang Chu's arm to show off. They were going to hype up the program for married couples. They were sweet and affectionate without any reservations. I subconsciously moved away, getting closer to Chu Ying. It's unlucky that this teddy bear isn't heat everywhere. He's still the male lead. Not as good as the actor Chu. And here, Chu Ying, who was compared cough lately, looked at Meng Chu with a half smile. As I was still complaining, Xiao Xiao still treated this rotten cucumber as a treasure. Did she really think that marrying him would be enough okay? The stepmother is good at literature. There is also a son who is called a younger brother. At that time, Xiao Xiao suddenly looked at Zhang Chu, who was nervous, and his eyes were blazing with anger. The male idol He Jingming, standing next to Zhang Chu, could not help but cover his mouth and wink at Zhang Chu. Brothers are having fun. I glanced at He Jingming, who was laughing foolishly. He looked so silly. Even though his home was robbed, he was still here in Makabaka. He Jingming looked away. He stared at me with his eyes sparkling. But my attention was drawn to the male and female protagonists again. They were so loving just now, Zhang Cheng and He Shi, who loved each other. Xiao Zhao and the others had visibly flushed faces again. Can't breathe. Hey, what happened to them? Looks like they can't breathe. Isn't Shi Xiaoxiao the new brother of the crew? Didn't we play these at meals last night? This thing has a time delay. Shizikosu's face turned from red to blue. Now, Zhang Chu didn't want to kill me, but he faced the audience's gaze, looked at Shi Xiaoxiao with angry eyes of being cuckolded. He Jingming was still scratching his head and cheeks, trying to talk to me. I was finally attracted by his monkey-like actions. With this IQ, no wonder the rich woman he just hooked up with was stolen by his teammates. He must not know where he lost. We all want to know too. Teammate has played the fourth love with the sponsor's mother, but He Jingming is still a little virgin now. The Jingming took a deep breath. For a long time he was silent. The director suddenly asked Shi Yuan, "What is your relationship with the Shi family?" I was still thinking about how to answer. I didn't notice that my second brother was standing behind me and warned me coldly at first glance. It was Xiao Xia. He grabbed my collar and brought me to the camera. My sister kissed me. I looked up at him in shock. It was Xiao Xiaoxiao. The director looked excited as if he had found a big secret. Shi Lingju pursed his lips. She was our adopted daughter. Shi Xiaoxiao looked at him in disbelief. He staggered back to steps. He actually exposed his identity like this. They had clearly promised him before that his fiancé Changchu was supporting him. His eyes kept looking at our family. I don't know what he was thinking. Hey, so decisive. For the sake of your protection, I will stop calling you a second dog in the future. The director who found the explosive point of the real and fake daughter program had his eyes shining. No way, no way. He wouldn't think that Zhang Eyes program could be broadcasted and that he could also dig out our family's relationship to become popular. The biggest thunder of this program has always been himself. The director rubbed and stood up. Even Shi Xiaoxiao didn't care about pretending to be sad to gain sympathy. Hey, he is a bit miserable. But the reason for his misery is hard to judge in the final analysis. Zaihucha and Zhi Shao quietly came to my side, pushed my brother aside. He took my arm. He looked at me with sparkling eyes. Well, why is he looking at me like that? I think you are you and you are really pretty. And Zhi Zhao said. I smiled shyly. I praised him in my heart. And Zhi Zhao smiled happily for his good taste. As expected, she is the woman who always nods to the top male model in the club. The breathing sounds around her suddenly became heavier. But these sisters have the intention but not the courage. They always play poker with the male model in bed all night. And Zhi Xiao covered her face. I took a look. I remember the director who is like an ant on a hot pot. It's not that you are constipated. What did you just see? The director's program can't be broadcast because someone wants to mess with him. But he also invited this person. Because TSK. My brother is just a cuckold. This guy is a real cuckold. The whole audience sobbed. There were also people in the field who looked at Shi Linju and Shi Linyuan intentionally or unintentionally. Shi Linju coughed and suddenly asked Shi Linyuan whether our big brother was in a bad mood recently. Shi Linyuan immediately, yes. Didn't he break up with his fiancée? Why did they suddenly mention big brother? The big brother and the police officer really broke up, and the police officer was already in police station. I don't know why Zhi Xiao was so excited. He almost broke my arm with a little force. I quickly pulled my hand out and gave my arm. The director's face flushed red. He looked torn between wanting to leave and wanting to stay. His face kept changing. God knows how nervous he was when he first discussed playing with his wife. But you don't know that his wife played more than him. And she married him because she knew about his habit. The key is that his wife and her new adulterer have fallen in love. They are transferring their property while the director is away. When he finishes filming this episode and goes back, the money will be gone. The program funds he had finally obtained were also poached by his wife. The director was accidentally sent to hospital because of anger. The director stood up suddenly. His face was gloomy. I have to leave first. You guys continue filming. The assistant director will take over. I'm still thinking. I looked up and found that the director was gone. He was replaced by the assistant director, who was standing next to me, explained to me that the director had just received a call and left for something. I looked at Chu Ying again. What a handsome guy. It's a pity that Chu Ying frowned. But I had already turned my attention to the assistant director, who is much younger, but also bald. Assistant director. The excitement of the new official was suddenly stopped. He looked at me with an expression of begging for mercy. The assistant director is still here. His wife is coming. He gave birth to a daughter who is about to be born. He was about to be sold by his mother, who favored boys over girls. He was still filming the show peacefully. I really admire this old man. Everyone looked at the assistant director with contempt. How should I remind him? But the tutor is a giant baby. He is also a mama's boy. He listens to his mother the most in his life. He won't believe me if I say something bad about his mother. I hate mama's boys the most. His wife has complained many times. His mother secretly bullies him on Dave's job tests on their sex life. He just thinks his wife is lying and is a joke. Your mom even knows his favorite position in bed. But there's nothing to see. Anyway, it's only 3 minutes at most. The instructor may have choked on his own saliva. He coughing violently. How should I tell him? Shu Ying suddenly spoke in a hurry. Director Fu, I heard from the producer that your wife is about to give birth. Do you want to go back and see her? Director Fu stood up suddenly with a red face. I'll go first. I turned my head and looked at Shu Ying with sparkling eyes. Oh, Mr. Shu, you are really my sweet baby. Shi Lingju coughed violently. What the hell? How many times today? Kurgo Uzi won't really have any serious illness. Shi Lingju looked at me with a wrong face. 10 minutes after the show started, 3 of them left in a flash. The remaining staff members. No one was willing to take the position of director. In the end, a director stood up and shouted, We don't have a script. The main focus is on reality and nature. All guests are free to play. Then he ran away in a flash. Guests, you look at me. I look at you. Silence, silence. It's the mountain village tonight. I sniffed gently. Son, how do I feel? I smelled the same scent of orchid as me. Could it be that these people knew that the program could not be broadcasted? So they went on strike collectively. And the H.I. Zhao approached me. What do you want to do? I will accompany you. My eyes drifted towards the kitchen involuntarily. Hungry. It's already noon. No one said anything. When the meal started, Xiao Xiao and Zhang Chu were still mad at each other. No one paid any attention to each other. And Zi'e Zhao and He Jingming had never washed vegetables a few times. The 2 brothers of the Shi family were also kitchen killers. Looked at each other. Looked away with an embarrassed face. Although I am not that good, at least I won't blow up the kitchen. It should be edible. 3 minutes later, I was stunned holding the potato in my hand. A tall figure enveloped me. Chu Ying chuckled, took the kitchen knife from my hand. Let me do it. You can cook. You can be a man. Roll up your sleeves. Wash and cut vegetables neatly. All the ordinary movements seem like they are in a TV series. Why does such a good man die young? Should I remind him? Shu Ying slowed down. In fact, his second uncle has always wanted to seize the family property, and the square-faced assistant he trusts the most has long been threatened and turned against by his second uncle with nude photos. 2 years later, his second uncle will plan a car accident. Let him die unexpectedly. Then take over the Chu family. But this guy is the smartest at calculating family members. He has no brains in doing business. Let him take over the Chu family, purely for the male protagonist to eat this piece of fat meat. Chu lay the groundwork. In the final analysis, the Chu camp is the same as our Shi family, just delivering food to the male and female protagonists. Forget it, I'll find a chance to hint to him later. I can't bear to see such a kind-hearted, handsome guy. I tragically smells so good. This cooking skill 666. Shu Ying paused while cutting vegetables. He smiled and looked at me. Is there anything else you want to eat? Is this asking me to order? I am so embarrassed. I can eat spicy chicken, pickled fish, braised rabbit, beer duck. I am not picky about food. Shu Yin put his fist against his mouth to hide his smile. The answer was in a pleasant voice. A few minutes later, I sat at the dining table and drooled at the food on the table. This is not just a little bit. This is a little bit. He is handsome and can cook. This is the legendary non-bodhisattva. Does a handsome guy keep a pet? He doesn't like to talk. The kind who only eats 3 bowls of rice in one meal. Shiwa, my third brother, yelled my name and glared at me fiercely. Isn't it just cooking? What's so great about it? It's just great. Slightly better than you, a kitchen novice. I'll learn when I get back. You'll wait. Ling Yuan stuck his neck out. I'm looking forward to it. You better be. Chu Yun smiled without saying a word. Picked up a piece of spicy chicken and put it in my bowl. Eat more. Ling Yuan's crazy old man was indignant again. He glared at Chu Ying. Wow, delicious, delicious. Handsome guys don't like pets. I can raise handsome guys too. Everyone played a few games organized by the director. Until at night, just when everyone was about to leave and go back to rest, I rolled my eyes. Where are Xi Xiaoxiao and Zheng Chu? Everyone stopped. Well, it turned out to be Xu Xiaoxiao. In order to comfort the cuckolded Jiang Chu, she said she wanted to give him a surprise. Then, now these two actually went to the woods to have sex. Shocked that they didn't even miss such a short time. Want to see? And Zhi Xiao, who had just walked up the stairs to go back to his room to sleep, rushed back in a flash. The sleepiness in his eyes turned into a blazing light. Yuan ate too much dinner. I'm so full. Let's go for a walk, okay? Jing, who was about to go out to call his agent Ming, also turned in the same direction. Come here, I'll go with you. It's late at night. It's not safe for two girls. A minute later, I looked at the huge and orderly guest team behind me. 是两个人在弗洛宇改州被雪橇得非常的接近。之后呢 Did everyone really eat so much at night? The lunch boxes ordered by the program team are not as delicious as those made by actor Chu. Chu Ying looked at me helplessly. Xu Xiaoxia and Jiang Chu walked not far away. It didn't take long for us to hear the symphony of men and women coming one after another. After all, she is his adopted sister. The Xu brothers' faces turned black. I was eager to follow and see Hai Shao and He Jingming lie down behind the bushes I peeked at. Xu Ying blocked my way. She bent down and covered my ears. She said helplessly, "Don't look at me. Be good. If you say that, I won't be sleepy anymore." Who can resist the movie star's coaxing? I can't resist it anyway. You have the guts to stop me from watching the goblins fight. You have the guts to touch your abdominal muscles for me. Chu Yan didn't know what he was thinking. He laughed so hard. Those dark and deep eyes seemed to contain tiny stars. Beautiful and moving. He actually put my hand on his abdominal muscles. Make it up to you until I woke up the next day. I was still dizzy. I touched the movie star Chu yesterday. I haven't made it. When I went downstairs, everyone was having breakfast. Jiang Chu brought me a cup of soy milk with a very attentive look. Yuan, good morning. I looked at him cautiously. Ugly people are often mischievous, being nice for no reason. The bald guy is my third brother again. Jiang Chu's self-proclaimed romantic smile froze on his face. The eyes of the other people at the table also shifted to us. I just think that we are destined to record the show together. I just want to have a good relationship with Yuan. Bullshit, he just wants to hook up with me. What a shameless, stinky man. Yesterday he went to the grove with Xu Xiaoxiao to fight the goblins. Today he flirted with me. Really toe-chasing fraud. Ugly flowers. People don't have to say that about themselves. 是两位人配佛语改州被选票呢非常的接近。之后呢 Took that medicine from Xu Xiaoxiao last night. Put it in the soy milk in my cup. Wanted to cook with me. Then took a sneak shot to threaten me. This idiot wants to enjoy the best of both worlds. This guy is just looking for shit in the toilet with the light on. Okay, I'm irritable. Third brother stood up, picked up the kettle on the table and smashed it on Jiang Chu. I'll beat you to death. Chu Ying also took the cup from my hand with a cold face. Put it heavily on the table. Sudden change. Even I was dumbfounded. Qi Lingju pushed the glasses on his face, expressionless, looking at the pale face Xu Xiaoxiao. After you go back, you can leave the Xi family. Xu Xiaoxiao begged in panic. No, I don't have a second brother. He was talking nonsense. Whether it was nonsense or not, there is naturally evidence to prove it. The hope in Shizikosi's eyes gradually dimmed. He turned to stare at me with a vicious look. Why did you suddenly fight? Wait, stop fighting. A perverted murderer has sneaked in. Before everyone knew it, a man in black clothes and a hat emerged from the photographers behind Xu Xiaoxiao. He took advantage of the chaos to stand behind Xu Xiaoxiao. He was Shizikosi's illegitimate fan. At this time, Xu Lingyuan and Jiang Chu were good fight. Moved near him, Xu Xiaoxiao was flustered. Wanted to run to me with the killer. Subconsciously grabbed Xu Lingyuan's arm, blocked in front of him, and countless hidden weapons suddenly appeared around the man. The apple on the guest table, the cameraman's machine, the director's script, the makeup artist's foundation. The killer was hit and dizzy. I don't know why he was beaten up just after he made a move. His body fell forward uncontrollably. The knife stabbed forward with all his strength. Xu Lingyuan, who was tripped by Xu Xiaoxiao, was stabbed in the calf. Given a muffled groan, his body and Xu Xiaoxiao were together falling to the ground. Zhang Chu, who was standing behind them, was also brought down by the two people who fell down. He grabbed He Jing Ming's belt and got closer to see the excitement. The following scenes were like falling dominoes, one after another. Chu Ying, who was standing at the outermost edge, grabbed my hand and took 2 steps back. The two of us who stood upright became the only gap in the mural of the whole room. Silence, silence. It was at the entrance of the Mountain Village Hospital tonight. The guests, who had only participated in the show for a day and a night, but seemed to have experienced 3 years of vicissitudes, said goodbye at the door. The murderer was twisted by the crew, sent to the police station. It is said that he is Shiziko Saki's longtime illegitimate fan. A few days ago, I ran into him and a young man checking into a hotel. I felt that he destroyed the image of a pure and innocent girl in my heart, so I decided to take him to die together. Talking about hatred, Xu Xiaoshui was also imprisoned because of the cup of soy milk. Facing his sophistry, his parents decided to let the law teach him a lesson. I felt dazed. The male and female protagonists who destroyed our Shi family are gone. What went wrong? And Zai Ejia was reluctant to leave. He just made an appointment with me to meet next time before leaving. In the end, only our family was left at home. There was also a Chu who had a strong presence. Hui King. I looked at the man standing in front of me in confusion, but he looked down at me. His face was still that cool and handsome face, but his ears were slightly red. Besides spicy chicken, beer duck, braised rabbit, and pickled fish, do you have any other dishes you like to eat? Oh, I was shocked. What does he mean by this? Is he cooking what I like for me? What do you like? I can learn it. He looked at me with concentration and seriousness. I took 3 steps back. Is he really interested in me? But although I said it in my heart, I don't really want to fall in love, especially with a man who is so eye-catching like him. Xu Ying put away her expectant eyes the next second and returned to her expressionless and cold look. She uttered 2 words softly with her thin lips, scumbag. Jenger, the monk, looked at the angry man walking away in confusion. What's wrong with him? My aunt is here. Lin, who had watched a good show, patted my head with a smile. Your parents and your eldest brother should go home and rest. I'll take care of your third brother here. I glanced at Lin Yuan lying on the bed and said awkwardly, Hey, go home early. The happy smile on Lin Yuan's face had not yet bloomed. I continued, the kitchen is left for you to play. I thought I could stop eating melons now. After all, I'm really tired. As a result, I didn't leave the ward door after arguing with the third brother. I received a system reminder. Damn, my brother's innocence is not guaranteed tonight. The whole family is at 12 o'clock in the evening. I looked at the dark stairs. A group of people crowded together. I was speechless. Even Shilin had bandages on his legs, crutches, and 1 foot hanging. Why are you here? My mother held a selfie stick in her hand. A mobile phone was placed on the stick. She lowered her voice and hushed. Yuan, we are going to find your eldest brother. My father put his fist to his mouth and pretended to be calm. Unfortunately, the crouching action was violent. Revealed his vulgarity. Good boy, Dad. Got the news. Xu Xiaoxiao was released on bail because of insufficient evidence of drugging. He was going to sneak into the house with a hidden knight. Defile your eldest brother. Let's do it quietly. Don't alarm him. The second brother supported the third brother with one hand. With the other hand, he held the phone and sent a message to the eldest brother. He said to me, you hide behind, lest Xu Xiaoxiao gets excited and hurts you. I have to say they are worthy of being a family. Their props are even more complete than those of me, a professional melon eater. I feel complicated. Then, why don't you stop him? My mother waved her hand inferently. If I caught him at the beginning, the most we can do is take back the key. We catch the thief and seize the stolen goods. We must get evidence that he attacked your brother. What if he comes up with some crooked ideas to harm you in the future? Then, what about my eldest brother? Dad poked his head into the unlit corridor. It's okay for a grown man to be taken advantage of. 10 minutes later, our family rushed into my brother's room. We took a lot of photos of Xu Xiaoxiao, who was trying to pull off my eldest brother's pants with his shoulders half exposed. someone who was committing a crime. The scene ended with Shiziko's scream. When my eldest brother woke up, looking at the resentful eyes of the family, the heroine finally accompanied the hero. In just one day, she was sent to prison for the second time 3 days later. Our family reunion dinner. This dinner didn't happen in the original story. On this day, Xiao Xiao and Zhang Chu got engaged. My parents and I had our first heated argument. I ran away from home. From then on, we drifted further and further apart. My three brothers were devoted to protecting their adopted sister. They completely forgot about their own sister who grew up alone. And at this moment, my parents surrounded me with love. My brother stood in front of me and apologized to me solemnly, breaking the beginning full of prejudice and lies. It turns out that our lives can also have new stories. Everyone from the Life variety show actually came. The assistant director gave me an invitation to my daughter's full moon, and the director was full of energy. Shoots had a new variety show invitation in front of me. The new show has a huge lineup. Miss, she must come to participate. I was speechless. I admire the director very much. He is a ruthless man indeed. After returning, he directly pried off his wife's mistress. Not only did he save his own property, he also got his former mistress to invest in his wife. Everyone looked at the director meaningfully. The director, who was stripped naked, tried to remain calm. Our show will definitely be popular. Miss, everything is ready. It only needs your help. But why is this a training set? Because I want to participate too. I don't know when. Shu Ying came to my side. Hand tapped the invitation letter on the table, wearing a well-tailored suit, smiling. Handsome as hell, not caring about other people's lives. Although some people want to be a scumbag who only cares about chatting and not burying. But I'm a man of my word. She got very close. The magnetic voice almost fell into my ears. If it's such a partner, it doesn't seem impossible. My three brothers jumped out to object. Actually Xiyuan. Don't you want to join the group? I really have a good script. Second brother Shi Lingju said, forget it. How can men make money? Xiang Ling felt that the most popular in Yuri Xiao Palace can have an internationally famous director. A film performance opportunity provided by director Zhang. Zhu Ying said calmly, I can be the top 10 brothers' baby. Zhu Yin smiled but said nothing. The scene was tense. The atmosphere was subtle. What should I do if my future boyfriend doesn't get along with my brother's in-law? I suddenly got a big melon warning from the system. What is the hostess of the Villain X store catching an adulterer? The guests present had golden eyes. What the hell? The woman catching the adulterer was arranged by the hostess herself, because she fell in love with the gardener in their garden. Everyone was excited. The male owner went to catch the adulterer. It turned out that the male owner had known that his wife had cheated on him. Oh, they are fighting now. The gardener confessed to prove his innocence. He was forced by the female owner. He always loved the male owner. Everyone gasped. The female owner was furious. Now she is setting fire in the back garden. She is ready to die together. The fire is about to burn to our villa. Everyone put out the fire. I grabbed Qian's hand. We ran to the door together. Family members and guests followed behind us. We ran to the melon field together. Love is uncertain. Development is possible. Career is necessary. But melons must be eaten. Eat melons today. Worry about tomorrow's worries tomorrow.